So let's carry on with this final activity for normalizing this database. We have over here the following database, which will contain customers, companies data for their workers as well, and their contact details, and we need to normalize it into first, second, and third normal form. So we're going to take this database, which is still in zero or unnormalized form. I have already made it over here. So this is the database in a normalized form. Okay, so you can see we have a customer name, we have customer's name over here, we have company name, and then we have contact details. These contact details, it's divided into 3 addresses and then zip code and 2 phone numbers. So you can see here why most of the time the 3 addresses are divided into, why the address field is usually preferred to be into 3 parts. That's because the standard method of writing addresses is usually writing into different separate parts, which will include the street name or the street number, and then the city name or the area name, and then the city name. That's why you're going to find it into 3 sections. And then you're going to find the zip code and the 2 addresses or the phone numbers. So that's the zero unnormalized form. So what you can see, non-atomic data over here, non-atomic data, which is having so many data inside one field. That's one thing. Another non-atomic data as well here. So we need to separate the names into first name and last name. And I think you cannot find any primary key over here. And the fourth indication, we have so many duplications. You're going to find, for example, the first name Surjan Patel is also available here, so duplicated. And then okay, now I can see only one name that is duplicated, but you can see other details here also duplicated, like Tawara Bus Company and so on. So to avoid this, let's make it into first normalizing form. We're going to still keep it one table, but we're not gonna make it into separate tables yet, but we're going to add the primary keys. So what you can see, we have customer details and company details. So customer ID, and then customer is divided into 2 separate tables, and then customer, now company details, company ID and company name, which is as it is from here, and then making this into atomic details as it is right now. That's the first the first normalizing form. Second normalizing form, we're going to divide it or break it down into smaller tables. So what we can get, the first table and the second table, obviously. And then you can see we're going to use one customer table and the second for company table. And what we did, we put a link between these 2 tables to link it. What we can do also, we can just put it as 2 separate tables, and then we put a third table which is going to link between 2 of them. But this is in the case we have more tables. For now, it's just simply we can just take this ID and put it into the customer's ID. So it's one-to-many relationship. So far now, the third normalizing form, what do you think? Can we break it down more into smaller tables? It's not possible anymore because we already got primary key, no duplication, unique columns already for each, and there is a connection between both tables, so there is nothing further need to be done. So this third normalizing form is going to be exactly the same like second normalizing form. Okay, let's move to, so that's the end of this activity, but let me explain one more point to you, which is about the advantages and disadvantages of using normalizing data. So if you notice that we need to normalize most of the time this relationship database, and these advantages, having like good advantages over the companies or over this database, that you have to spend less money because of the file size is smaller, so less money for the in terms of the storage. Okay, and that is going to cause less redundancy or less duplicated data. That's why it's going to reduce the repeated file and will reduce the file size and will reduce the storage we won't need. Another advantage, that the data is going to be connected logically, so there will be less inconsistent data, and that's going to improve your referential integrity. And I think the search is going to be much faster, so less data and more faster results gonna happen. And I think the changes are going to be happen automatically, so in case any details you want to add, or a student name. The student name will be added into their related tables, and related changes also will be made in case we want to edit it. And the last advantage, that there will be no duplication, so there will be less errors gonna be happen, and it will be easier to make any changes as all the tables are going to be connected. Related with the disadvantages, as you're going to have a larger table, whenever we have a large table, that means more relationship, and as we have more relationships, it's gonna take more time to connect between these tables, divide them, normalize them. That's going to require more workers that have a better knowledge, and that is going to cost the company additional cost. Another disadvantage is that as the tables become more, it's going to be difficult to monitor all these tables. And as we have more tables, that's going to make it more complex, and more complex queries going to happen, and more difficulty to handle those tables and queries and relationships. Another thing, it's going to have a lot of processing power, so it's going to usually take more processing power and will result in slower process as the number of tables are going to increase. And the last disadvantage, that is the most essential, which is going to always removing non-atomic data is not a good idea. Sometimes keeping non-atomic data is a good idea. We can keep it as one main file, and it depends actually basically on the project and the purpose of this database. That's the end of this video. Let's move to the next one, and if you have any questions, any comments, you may put it in the comment section.